Okay, so there's about a zillion things going on in there. It's crazy how much stuff is going on. What's even crazier is there's still people oblivious, completely oblivious to real life. I don't even, I can't even wrap my head around it anymore, honestly. And, I've been having such a hard time eating lately, and I don't know what is going on. Even when I start eating it, it just like starts grossing me out. Like, oh. And I'll tell you, it doesn't help much when you go and you see the reports about. You remember when I was talking about what they're going to do with the Soylent Green, and that they are. It's just so funny how they disclosed that back when I was a kid. That traumatized me. But here they are doing it. Yeah, it doesn't help much when like 20 states have passed this law that all the people who and die, they're liquefying them into gel and spraying them on the crops because they got to get this poison in all of us. They can't just give it to a few. What are they? They elite? Yeah. Equal poison for everybody. So, yeah, it's so nutty, but yeah. It's got to be just, when you go in and you try to eat and all you can think of is like, how much poison am I about to consume right now? Because that's all there is, just poison. And, another thing that was really interesting too is, so yesterday I was watching David Rodriguez in the evening, and he had on this guy. I don't know who this guy is, but I think he's known or something. He's on Twitter. He seems to be known. And he is some sort of a computer programmer, but like way beyond what most people or something. But he figured out how to read the energy of people online to be able to predict what's going to happen, and he's constantly right. Well, I've been able to do that a little, not by but I mean with awareness. Like I knew Trump was gonna win the first time when everybody was telling me no way, no way, no way, and I was like, you guys, go in and read the comments. If you think anybody's voting for Hillary, you're whacked. So, yeah. But he's doing it on a much larger scale, and his stuff matched so much of what David Wilcock had just said the day before about the stuff with the sun. So there's so much scientific information, these different scientists, who have come up with these things that are, they're right on. They're totally happening. And he's saying that the financial crash is going to happen in this, I think, next week. He said between the 4th and the 11th of October, when we know it's coming. I mean, there's so much buildup to it. And I look forward, Jesus Christ, I've been looking forward to it. I thought it would happen last year. I didn't think it would keep going. And what's surprising too is I put, in the morning when I'll get up and I will entertain myself by commentary and the news headlines, right? So I just started doing it and putting them on TikTok. And I get lots and lots of people who go in and comment and stuff. But I'm so surprised how many people were really not expecting this financial collapse. And, I heard about that. That's what the whole thing is, what they're doing. That's why they're doing all of this. It is to reduce the population and crash the economy so the surviving population is completely enslaved to the aristocrats. So, they have a good agenda they got going there. And it's just so weird how you can tell people stuff and then they just think like you're just making it up, you're just a negative person, you're just doing this or whatever. I was like, I think if you just start paying attention, maybe you might see some stuff. But no, people are oblivious, completely oblivious, tuned out. But what was I gonna say about it? I was gonna say, yeah, a lot of people didn't even know. And, when I started very beginning of this whole thing, when I knew that they were lying, because I was a nurse. I understood science. I understood sickness. I understood the flu and viruses and bacteria. I understood all that stuff on a level which most people obviously don't. I don't even, some of these people who even work in hospitals and stuff, I'm just like, man, how do they even get their license? Like, I don't know. It's weird. But, yeah, so when I could recognize something was going on and I started trying to tell people around me, aka family, yeah, and everybody was like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Shut up, crazy person. And so I started going outside, looking for others who were seeing what I was seeing. And in that path is where I found Charlie Ward. And he was explaining about, because he too was like, what's going on? And he was going and saying like the stuff he knew from what in his job, what he was overhearing, because he was basically a money launderer for the government, so it was legal. But he was with, ambassadors, prime ministers, all these people flying around laundering their money for him. And he would overhear conversations. And like 6 years prior, he started hearing they were going to crash the economy. And then, a few years later, they're going to crash the economy. The plan is in motion, blah, blah, blah. And then he said right beforehand, he was on a flight and they were saying it's about to happen. It's going to happen within the next couple months that, they're going to do it. And so he started asking questions. And that's when he found out that the whole thing with the flu, that it was all part of a plan, a master plan. But it results in, crashing the economy. I mean, they've got to take everything away from us. I mean, they've got this huge push. You shouldn't own things, and they're going to just take everything away. That's what they want to do, because, get us desperate. And it helps them when we kill each other, with these people who lose their minds and go out and start murdering and causing mayhem. Well, that just helps out the evil. So you want to play along with the evil's game, then, that's on you, but there will be repercussions that go beyond this life. And I'm not talking about like, hell. I believe we're in that place where people consider to be hell. But yeah, you will go through life after life after life having to clean up your mess. And you think this is hard? Yeah, I would be trying to do my best. I wouldn't be trying to do my worst. So, yeah, the whole thing with all of this, lockdowns and everything. And you can see what they've done to small businesses. People are losing their homes. Even people who were renting are losing their business. Airbnb people, all the different things. I mean, and now they've moved up after they destroyed small business. They've moved into 100 or more employees. You follow these mandates, you pay this money, you do this, you do that. And all these people, surrendering their jobs, like, no, I don't want poisons put into my body. I don't want to take something being forced on me. Like, that makes no sense, especially when there's so much, clearly, so much manipulation of the information and the censorship. So, yeah, why would anybody? I don't understand it at all. But, to each his own, because it's, I went through my dark night, and there's a lot of people are going to be facing their own, and a lot of them are going to have some severe health issues. It's going to, they're going to have to face. This is an awakening. This is about waking up to this tyranny and stuff, but it's beyond that, because it's this whole system, it's this whole thing that's gone on here for so long, and it is waking up to yourself, of what you align with. If you don't align with tyranny, It makes sense to me. People who align with tyranny, who, jump right in there and think, people should be punished if they don't do what the government says. That's I don't know. I don't think that they're seeing themselves quite clearly. And, all of this stuff is going to happen, is going to put that mirror right up in front of them, and they're going to see themselves in a different way. Especially when they find out that all the stuff that they stood for was all a lie, was all misleading. And it's like freaking, Millie in there, and he's being questioned. Oh, well, they told me. That's something a lot of people are going to find out the hard way. You don't do what somebody else tells you to do. A lot of people. And, the biggest thing that I'm constantly pushing is, think for yourself. Look into stuff. Start expanding your perspective. Start expanding your knowledge. Start going out and listening to lots of different people, One thing that I've noticed is a lot of people just find their little tiny pocket and they just keep digging in that same pocket looking for new information. There's no information that's new going to come out of that pocket. You better start looking in your other pockets. You might want to check an old jacket or shirt or something, It is really it's troubling, but, this is the transition. It's the transformation. It's going into this new age. So the new age isn't going to be for everybody. Some people aren't ready to leave this system. They're very attached. This morning I was thinking, it is kind of like, I've said it's the beast. Their tentacles. It's not just the beast, because if you say cabal or whatever, all the millions of labels that people want to give them, well, not millions, but you know what I mean, Illuminati or whatever, you get this idea of it's like a little group, we've got this little group up on the hill, but it's not. This little group has all the money. This little group has formed every kind of corporate infiltration into our system, into our lives, as they could possibly do, to funnel our energy into them. They enslave us. They master us. They tell us what to do, when to do it, who to be, where to go, what is success. They tell us what that is. We just follow along. We've always followed along, right? Until now, when people started saying, wait a minute, something's not right here. Things had to get really, really bad. This is like really, really bad. And it's so crazy how some people are still oblivious to what's going on, but, but the beast is tentacles, it's in all of our lives. It is, it's got a stranglehold on so many people. And it is kind of like there's a lot of people or souls or whatever, you want to identify them as, that are like barnacles. They're like barnacles on a ship, only they're on the beast. They're barnacles on the beast, and they just want to stay there. It's safe, and you go up and you try and pull them off, and they just as soon slap you in the face than to hear like, no, you don't want to be attached to that. That's evil. That's bad. You don't want to attach to that. Pull away. You can make your life better. You can make your life what you want. You got to pull away from the beast. But they have gotten convinced that that is their savior. They believe what they're told. And it's, I don't know, there's like, I don't know what's happening, critical thinking and logic and stuff like that. So many people have forgotten how to use it. It's just like, just tell them whatever on here. Don't look outside and see for yourself. If it says it on here, then it must be true. I don't even know anymore. Being in a place where there's two poles, it's doing my head in. I gotta say, it is definitely doing me in. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? We can only hope. So, anyways, next week it's going to be, pretty shocking. From what I understand, because Charlie's been right on. People want to get caught up in dates and certain things and then say somebody's full of shit. I don't align with that. So if you think that, then that's your own thing. I don't get caught up in dates and stuff because, the energy is fluid. It's always moving. You can't tell when it's going to get there. You can't tell if it's going to go like this, if it's going to go, it's all of us. It's fluid. It's movement. The energy is going. So, you can't get caught up on dates. I've said that all along. That's foolish. But his overall has been really accurate about the financial reset and stuff. And so from what it sounds to me is as soon as the collapse occurs, that the quantum system is right there to back it up, right? Immediately. Like everything is going to go fast, and then it's going to start going the other way. But the whole thing is there's a lot of buildup to this, dastardly. There's a lot of buildup to this. And, and everybody's tense. Well, the people who are aware are tense. And, a lot of them are stressed out. A lot of them have got a lot of things going on in their lives. They're losing their jobs. They're losing their businesses. They're losing loved ones, And so that's some heavy energy right there. And then you have when I say it's when the lights go on. When it happens and all of these people, it's like we're in a little timer and all the sand is going down. I don't know if there's something. I've been seeing so many things. Like my eyes are just getting so much. I cannot wait for these healing machine things. Man, I'm so tired of this eye thing, this blindness thing. It's fucked. Anyways, when the lights come on, so the timer, the sand is going down, and then when it's going to flip back up and the sand's going to start going down again, it's going to be going down the other direction. It's going to be the flip. It's going to be the upside down. It's going to come right side up. And so when that happens, which I call the lights coming on, when that happens, all these people are going to suddenly be faced with reality, a reality that they wanted to push back. They wanted to say didn't exist. They wanted to pretend like it wasn't there. And they're going to be faced with it. And it's going to be, like already we have all these people going through stuff. But when that happens, that is going to be a huge energetic thing. I've said for how long that's going to be the pulse that sends out to the sun, is going to create the event that's going to, move our planet into another solar system. I don't know, so don't do your own research. Look into this stuff. Look into stuff about the event, about ascension, about, there's so much information out there, but you can't tell people stuff because it won't sound right. They have to look. You have to look for your own information for it to make sense, because your own internal will guide you what you need to know. And, but however it's going to go down to get to the new earth, age of Aquarius and stuff, it's not going to be this. Yesterday, that one guy that David Rodriguez was talking to, he was saying, that all of this stuff is going to occur, and everything is going to end. All these systems are going to end, which I've been saying all along. And but he's saying it's going to take decades for us to rebuild, and I think it's going to go faster than that, because we're going to be in a higher dimensional state. What's going on is the purge. And that's so funny how they did that movie and called it that. This is the purge. This is the actual purge of the evil, the dark energy, purging out from, like, good is separating from evil. That's why people keep saying, you got to know what side you're on. You need to know what side you're on, because it's separating. And if you are going on the other, you will be in, there won't be any excuse. You are your own master at that point, you know? So you make your own choices by free will. So if you align with evil and you are unaware, you know, like a lot of people, you know, they'll get that opportunity, I think, to face themselves, to see themselves for real in the mirror. And then, you know, and that's going to be a dark night for a lot of people. But that is, you know, I think everybody's going to get that opportunity. I've said that, you know, for so long, that's the whole reason the lights are coming on, so that you get this opportunity to heal yourself. Because when this purge happens, this separation between these two energies, it will kind of be like the Big Bang, right? And it will be the starting of something new. And this, you know, this evil can't go into that higher dimensional state. And in that, things aren't going to take decades and decades. You know, it's not going to take forever for us to be doing some of this rebuilding and restructuring. We're going to create the world we want. And I think that we will get to a place of acceptance of one another, and appreciation of one another and everybody's own independence, that there will be lots and lots of small communities that will structure independently. And there's going to be, you know, all different ways to live. And people will be able to make their choices. You know, it's just going to be so different than what this is. You know, I'd, on the QHHT thing, I'd heard, this was a few years back, on Allison Coe one. She was doing one, and the person was saying that they were walking in the sand, and they said that the trees would bend down to kind of communicate with them, and that the sand, everything, they said the way they moved and stuff was different. You felt communication with nature, and he said that they were living in like tree houses. I thought that'd be really cool to live in like tree houses, just like, you know, because you don't have to get up and go to work and do all that stuff. All you got to do is just take care of yourself. So, and do what you want, explore the world, you know, and plus it's going to be open up to galactic travel. Like there's going to be so much exploration out there. But yeah, I just feel like that there's going to be so many different types of, you know, Swiss Family Robinson kind of life that people are going to choose, you know, to go and to do all sorts of different things. But yeah, in that higher dimension, when you're tuned into nature, like if this point in your healing, if you're already to that point, Stella's snoozing, thank God. Oh man. So if you're to that point already in your healing, then you have probably already noticed, like, you do feel communication. You do feel communication from animals, from nature, from the energies around you, you know. And a lot of people will start feeling like, oh my God, I'm just going crazy. Something's wrong with me. I'm a crazy person now. Yeah, it can feel like that. It can definitely feel like that, because they've told you forever, this, and this, and this, and this makes you crazy. So don't do this. Because remember, they tell us who we are. They identify us to us, you know. And until you're ready to break free from what you're told you are, who you believe you are, to try and figure out who you really are, you know. And all of this stuff going on right now is that equalizer. It is that thing to bring you to that place, to make you prioritize things in your life, to make you really look at life in a new way. And things are only going to get better and better. You know, the crash is going to occur, and it will be the best thing that ever happened to human beings. And you know, it could be scary for some people for a minute. You know, they could think, oh my God, everything I've worked for my whole life, my retirement, my house, everything, and it's just gone. I did everything right. I've been there. Believe me, been there. But it's gonna quickly. You're gonna see the turnaround. You're gonna see the jubilee. You're going to see a big change in, but we are gonna have to go through, like that guy was saying that to him when he's reading the energy thing. He said it looks like it's going to start in the beginning of he said it's already started, all of the stuff, which we can see on McAfee's thing today. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe. Because yesterday they had already said if you weren't on McAfee, they were going to lock it down. You couldn't get on it anymore. And now they are just dropping. Oh my gosh. Personal tax forms of these crooks and stuff, like politicians and stuff, showing all of their corrupt money laundering and stuff. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they've got everything. These people are going down. I mean, that's just for sure. If it's if it's being put out there like that to the public, I mean, these people are going down. They got to clean out the judicial system, obviously, because the judicial is part of our corrupt diplomatic government system to control us. The criminals, they get to do whatever they want while they put us in jail and restrict us on everything. I mean, you can't even freaking, there's people in prison for life for smoking a damn plant. So this insanity is, I'm just gonna be so glad. But that guy said that the crash looks like it's gonna happen the first week of October, and then it's going to, it's going to be a build. It's going to be a few days or whatever. Then people are going to go insane, and that's going to last a couple of months. So November and December is going to, when people kept saying it's going to be like a nuclear winter. I kept hoping that. So yeah, it is going to be a rough winter for sure. And but he said then in January there's going to be a big change in the energy, and people start trying to really focus on their healing and unity and stuff. And I mean, you take time frames as a grain of salt. You can't get caught up in time frames. But it will go like that. There will be like a blow up. People will freak out. That's the same thing Allison Coe said, that there's going to be a big disclosure that's going to happen, and people are going to freak out, and they're going to start going crazy, and it's going to be a couple months of these people going crazy. To me, it's just like, stay safe, stay away from the insanity, you find shelter. And then after that, when the healing starts and stuff, but that's just, it's all for preparation for this event. Just start looking up stuff about it if you don't know. Oh yeah. And then also I've seen where you got these spiritual people now out telling you, no, you just keep your vibration up, just stay positive, don't think about things going on around you. That's the upside down, people. That's the upside down. Yeah. This is about conscious awareness. This is about consciousness becoming aware of itself. This is what is that? It's I've said it a bunch of times, but what is it? It's part of the growth cycle of a soul. It's just consciousness becoming aware to the point that they say, I don't align with this. This isn't who I am. I'm something different than this. That's when you pull out of it. But like I said, there's lots of barnacles, and they'll be there continuing to align with that, and wherever that's going to take them. I don't know, but I know where I'm going, and I'm going to go to ascension. I'm going to the new earth. I'm not staying back in this. I recognize that I don't align with anything here. I never have, and thank God now other people are starting to notice they don't either. But we all got to make our choices. So have a good day, and I hope you make a good choice.